Hi guys, I'm back with another video for Lawn Fawn. Today I'm using Really High Five stamps and dies, the outside in stitched balloon stackables, puffy cloud borders, fancy wavy banners, and not shown is the party animal stamp set. Also, I did show the grass borders. I did not use that, but I thought I was going to. I stamped 3 of the cute little critters from the Really High Five stamp set and started coloring them. Of course, I used Zig Clean Color Real Brush markers. I'm using some browns for the mouse and the bear, and then some grays for the bunny. I decided to make the mouse a little bit of a darker brown, so I did some layering. First I went in with my lightest color, then spread it out with a water brush. Then I went in with my darkest color, spread it out with the medium color, and then used the water brush to drag it out. I think I did that a couple times to build up the layers. And then, of course, a little pink for the cheeks and the ears. The bunny was colored, like I said, with some grays. And I didn't really pay attention to where my light source was for these guys. I just colored them how I wanted to. That's basically how I color all of my images. How do I feel like shading this today? Every once in a while I'll take into consideration the light source, but more often than not it's just kind of how I want to add the shading. And this time I decided to add them to, how do I say this? I added the shading to the opposite way that the character is facing. There we go. Not too bad. For the bear, I used the same browns as the mouse, but my intention was to make him a little bit lighter. He didn't end up as light as I was hoping for. The more I added shading and layers of color, he kept getting darker and darker, but I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad. I like it. These cute critters, you can honestly color them in rainbow colors. It doesn't matter. And they would still be super cute and adorable. In case you haven't seen me color before, I always spritz a little bit of water on my craft mat, and then I use a dry water brush to pick up, well, not to pick up the water, but to dampen the bristles. Then I smooth the color around on my image and then wipe off the color onto that dirty paper towel. I always reuse my paper towels as much as I can. But yeah, so dry water brush, dip it in the water. You don't want it super soaked. The more water you have, the more the color is going to blend out. So it really just depends. If I color a big area, of course I want a little bit more water, but these cute little critters, I just use a little bit of water. And that's done. Next, it's time to add some ink color to my big balloon. I love these balloons. I decided to go with a red balloon because that's my favorite color to use balloons, or reds and pinks. But of course I wanted to add a little shading. So I started with dried marigold for the lightest part of the balloon. Then picked raspberry. These colors obviously are not close to each other when you're just looking at them, but they blend together so pretty. I love pink raspberry and dried marigold together. Favorite ever, hands down, you win. For the darker shade of the red or the pink, I used abandoned coral. And then I just went over it a couple times with all the colors to smooth the blending. And then I'm like, oh, I'm done. Nope, more blending, little pink raspberry to blend out the red, and then I finally was done. And it's so bright and happy. Oh, right. Did I mention I'm making a slimline card? I am. Also, I don't have the cloud stencil yet for Lawn Fawn. So what I did was I used the puffy cloud border dies to die cut out some clouds from white cardstock, and then I used white ink to ink blend a background, just like you would with the stencil, but I didn't have the stencil, so I just kind of made it work. I love that blue paper. It's Blue Jay from Lawn Fawn. It's my favorite color ever navy, best. It wins. And I love those soft white clouds. I think it's a great way to spruce up that background. And then I couldn't resist. I added some stars with some white acrylic paint and water. I mixed it together a little bit and then flicked it on. And there's the background. I decided to add the sentiment onto a fancy wavy border banner. Fancy wavy banner. Yeah, there we go. From Lawn Fawn, I die cut it out with vellum and then heat embossed it with white. The good thing about clear stamps is you can line them up to fit that wavy border. Love it. Perfect. However, the frustrating thing for me is lining it up. I sped this up so you didn't have to suffer with me, but it took some time. But look, I made it work, and it didn't turn out too shabby, if I do say so myself. And now it's time to put the card together. I decided to put the balloon in the top corner and hang the critters with a piece of thread. I pulled some gold thread from my stash, and I'm just going to wrap it around the base of the balloon, tied in a knot, and then I can move the string any way I want to have the critters hang down, which is why I wanted a slimline card, because I wanted all of these critters to be hanging and partying. Oh yeah, speaking of critters, did I mention I put party hats on them? As I cut them out, well, I die cut them out, I thought, I'm making a birthday card, but the only really birthday thing besides the sentiment is the balloons. So then I decided they needed party hats. So I used the party hats from Party Animal, and then die cut them out and put them on my critters. I colored them, of course, in rainbow because me. And I love the colors it adds to the card. And I'm attaching all of the critters and the balloon with some foam tape. All the adhesive, as you know, tape, foam tape, glue. This is not going anywhere. Anyway, so I curved the thread behind each of the critters, added the adhesive, and then put them on top of the card, and then you can see them hanging out, having a good time. The glue that I used is Scotch Quick Dry. It's not my favorite, but it was what I had at my desk at the time. I just used a tiny little bit on the banner to attach it on the blue part and on the balloon, and we're almost done. Next, I am using some cardstock that I die cut for my card base. Oh, I forgot to tell you. Okay, the blue part of my card was cut to 3.5 by 9 inches. And then the white card base is, when it's all said and done, is 3.25 by 9.25. I'm sorry, that's not right. 3.75 by 9.25. That is the final size of my card, and it fits in a standard envelope, like letter envelope. And I really like how it turned out. It's such a fun card. The blue makes that red pop even more. And it is just good times had by all, right? I love the Make-A-Wish banner. It adds more dimension. And of course, the critters with the party hats. Who could ask for anything more? Thanks for watching again. Be sure to check out my card on the Lawn Fawn blog for more details and close-up pictures. Bye!